It's time to build a bridge right there. Oh boy. Just to wind things around and loop it back around. Hello! A little Robin Williams sandwich right there for everyone out there. All right. A few shows ago, I brought up the topic of cell phones or smartphones being able to read your thoughts. And when Joe came and visited me here in Ohio, he had his own experience about communication or, these devices or just the internet in general being able to put something in front of your face, like an ad on your cell phone about something you were thinking about. And maybe it's kind of like an object or an item that you haven't thought about, you have never purchased or even mentioned around your cell phone, but it was able to be seen by you in an ad. That happened to you, Joe, with like a back scratcher, right?
It was the back scrubber, the one where you have the two handles in the shower and you can get your...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you never bought one before? You never thought about it before then?
I thought about it.
Okay,
but it was like I was in Austin for whatever reason at a concert or something. I was just thinking, like, I never really washed my back. And then, like, a week or two later, it was on an Instagram ad.
And we had recently, I forwarded you guys the email. Someone was something similar happened to a listener of ours, but he was talking about stuff. He was listening to a weird song, like a chipmunk version of a song. And he played it for a few friends, but then next thing you know, that very song by, I think, Belinda Carlisle was being recommended to him on Reddit. And it's possible that the algorithm was smart enough to detect like a speed change on a song and serve it to him. But then I was also tagged in one or two other things on Twitter of people experiencing the cell phone or the smartphone reading your thoughts like that. And I did a little bit of digging on this to see if it's just a bunch of craziness. Am I so far out there to think that these things can actually read your thoughts, or is there something else going on here? Really good technology, just confirmation biased, or whatever. So on the subject of just reading thoughts, well, there's quite a few stories out there of people that have this very experience. So this is from Quora. I don't know who goes to Quora anymore besides like me, I guess, to look for these kind of things. But this one is, here's the question is, can smartphones read our minds? I sometimes see ads about the things that I had thought in my mind, which I have never searched in the internet or have even spoken out loud. And there's quite a few entries on this. So here's one by Jules. So earlier today, I had a random thought that I'd like to know how to make chocolate fudge cupcakes. I never discussed this with anyone or searched anything. I never made a cupcake in my life. Then tonight on Google Newsfeed, I see an advertisement for a recipe for chocolate fudge cupcake with a photo of a cupcake exactly like the picture I had in my mind. I'm spooked. How the hell does this happen? And then another person chimes in. I was searching for something like this because this literally just happened to me. I was researching tech jobs while in bed, then fell asleep for a few minutes. Weirdly enough, I started dreaming about building Lego pieces. I wake up, go to Instagram. Sure enough, I'm greeted with an advertisement for Legos. How often do you see Instagram advertising Legos? I'm kind of with them on that one. And there's just a bunch more like this. These people sharing their experiences of never speaking anything out loud, not really searching for these items. And then when they hop on the old cell phone, they're being greeted with advertisements about the very product that they were thinking about or dreaming about. It's happened to me. It's happened to my wife. It's happened to Joe. We've had people write into this show about it. I think it's happening a lot more than people are probably just blowed off. It probably happens so much at this point.
It fits with the thing I always talk about with Battlefield. And then you think about predictive text. The machine learning, as they'll call it, they're trying to anticipate where you're going to go next. They're a couple steps ahead of all of us.
Well, Joe, I mean, So the one that anticipated that you're looking for like a backwasher, that's pretty good anticipatory algorithms there. That's like really, really good. Wouldn't you say?
I would say so. I like my loofah.
Yeah. You didn't buy that back scratcher though, did you?
I didn't get the back scratcher, but I've always had a loofah. And every time I go to a new apartment, I replace the shower heads with that one that you could pull off and scrub your butthole with it. And,
yeah.
That's
a good one. Talk about wheezing the juice. That's
a lot of talk of pulling things off and washing buttholes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I gotta just to kind of continue on with this this topic of cell phones reading your thoughts or dreams, whatever. Here's a headline: this is Facebook is working on smartphone that can read thoughts.
That's good news.
Oh yes, and this is from 2017. So Facebook announced that it's assembled a team of 60 people to develop a technology allowing users to think commands and messages at their smartphones. The system would be able to literally read your mind constantly. What could go wrong? And the people at Facebook are going down a path that only can be described as post-Orwellian. Not satisfied with the fact that their users willingly share their most intimate information on a daily basis with Facebook, now they're looking to reshape the world and decipher thoughts that haven't even been verbalized. So throughout this article, they say they're focusing on Facebook is trying to figure out a way, at least from 2017, to figure out a way to determine the words and thoughts you're about to say next. Not like the most deeper inner workings of your brain, but what is on the tip of your tongue? What are you about to say? That's what they're focusing on with this technology. Although it does not state how exactly they're going to do this. They just say somehow they're going to do this. And so I'm assuming that, take them at face value, that they're actually working on this and they're implementing it in some way, possibly. We wouldn't know if they implemented it. Or maybe we do know because we're seeing more ads like this about things we're just about to say or think about. So maybe it's already been implemented in some way. And then there's this other headline here. This is from 2010. Intel's mind-reading smartphones of the future. This is from over 10 years ago. In fact, dare I say 12 years ago. This is when this article was written. Intel researchers are delving into the creepy but promising contextually aware computing of the future, machines that would know who you are and what you're doing. On the third day of their developer forum in San Francisco, Intel researchers describe contextually aware tech products of the future that would know who you are and what you're doing. These long-term projects might include a TV remote that recommends channels based on who's holding it, or a smartphone who gives travel recommendations based upon past driving behavior. So if you're swerving a lot and like drinking and driving, they'll give you different destinations for your travel as than for like a 90-year-old grandmother traveling.
They tell you where the
road.
nearest bar is.
Yes. You want to go around the corner. It's happy hour, so get there right away. I would say the maps thing probably is something we're seeing through Google, because doesn't it do when you search for restaurant, or you go to Google and you search for dinner near me sort of thing, it will base what it shows you on places you have visited in the past. So yeah,
it's not far off.
And typically also when I travel somewhere, I hop back in my car, I'll plug my phone in, and it'll automatically Google Maps will automatically like put my destination as my home. Like, it doesn't know. So I went to the grocery store. What if I wanted to go to the Guitar Center? What if I want to go someplace else? It's assuming I want to go home, and it typically makes the right assumption about that. So I do want to go home.
You should go to Guitar Center right now.
I'm going to go down there this weekend. I'm going to buy a guitar cord, probably. More micro songs coming. That's right.
Buy it. You don't want to buy a guitar cord. You're going to want to lease that with an option to buy.
Yes. So, all very, very creepy stuff. Before I dive into the other aspect of it, I was initially considering a couple of weird possibilities with this. That yes, these smartphones are so good. The algorithms are so out there that they could predict your future. They know where you're going to go. Then the wacky side of it is that we live in a simulation, and everything's pre-planned. Every piece of your life has been pre-programmed. So obviously they know what you're going to do. They know what you're going to buy. And so it's just a piece of code that gets thrown at you, and it's kind of all tied together on the back end. And then you can also think, oh, wow, there's probably AI out there. Like there's AI, and it is living on the internet, and it is so hyper smart, and it's being used to serve ads to people. Like the AI is so advanced, it could do anything it wants, and it has chosen to give me ads to anticipate my every consumer need and want. But
maybe it's just trolling you. How about that?
It could be. If it was, I mean, it seems pretty helpful at times. With Joe's back scratcher, that's like a helpful suggestion for like if it was an all-encompassing AI that lives on the internet. It seems fairly helpful at that point.
Possibly, yeah.
If that's the case, so
well, that is the goal. Having worked in paid media, that is always what we're doing. And you probably know a lot about this stuff way more than me, Mike. But the data that people are collecting, and obviously it's getting better and better. But that's what you're trying to do, is hit people with the right ad at the right time to get them to go. They've been working hard at this. And I mean, they are doing a good job.
I don't get into data analytics or analysis like that, or so I don't know a lot about it, and I don't know how good they can be.
It's scary good. And I was talking to somebody who was like high up in the tech section at Razor, at a place I worked years ago. I've said it on the show before.
Yeah, Penis Man.
Yeah. But anyway, I was up with the senior tech folks and the data analytics folks. And what he was telling me, it was scary. And this was 2015.
Well, I'm going to read this paragraph. This is from Reddit. And you can let me know if this rings true to what you know.
True. Sorry.
It has to ring true, Cratchit, first, okay?
Before you get to that, one last thing, because you were talking about Facebook, Meta, Instagram. This has been a new change. I don't know if everybody's noticing this or if it's just something I'm seeing, but it used to be like 2 or 3 of the people you follow pictures and then an ad. And now it's like one picture. Sometimes it starts with an ad and it's not even somebody you follow, but it's like someone you follow, then an ad, then a suggested post, or in that sort of order. So you literally have to go to your friend's profile if you want to see what they've been posted.
Yes. You have
it's
to
crazy.
Go to that. It's just the way it is. That's how they're making bank, Joe. And I don't know. When's the last time you bought anything off of Instagram, an Instagram ad?
I do. I actually buy a lot.
Do you really?
Yeah, I've bought a lot of stuff off of there.
Oh, wow. It works on you.
Because they know I like keto, and so they'll serve me up keto
you're into
shit.
karate. I didn't know you were into martial arts.
Oh, get out of here. You know what I'm
he's in the capital of Ecuador.
Oh.
Is that the capital of Ecuador? Oh, Quito. Yeah.
The art of throwing. Keto. It's what I believe Steven Seagal uses in movies.
When he's not eating carrots.
When he's not eating that's a keto diet. It's keto friendly, right?
No, it's got too much sugar in it.
Yeah, carrots would not be keto friendly.
See, I don't know anything about the martial art, but
you need to go to Ecuador.
I will. I'm headed there next after the show. So here's this Reddit post. And this has been archived. This title, I had to dig for this. I had to use Gigablast to find this article, this post. And it's titled, Can Phones Read Your Mind? On more than one occasion, an ad or something on my phone has aligned with a previous thought I've had. Explain to me like I'm 5. And then if you go down here a little bit, there's actually a pretty good post, which is actually kind of scary. If you're talking about web privacy, internet privacy, this is very scary. So, Joe, I'd like your opinion on this. So this guy says, I'm assuming it's a guy. My wife is a data analyst in advertising. This is literally her job and profession, I guess, to do predictive ads like this. First, your life is awash in spyware. It's literally hopeless. You can't interact with technology and not get tracked. Your phone is reporting your location to your service provider and a host of other participants. They know where you are at all times, even if you have tracking turned off, because that setting only applies to third-party apps. They know if you're near McDonald's and start showing you ads because it's either on your route, or if you're using directions, or on your deduced route because you are driving around here frequently enough. They know if you're inside or through the drive-thru. So the thing is, you've done something that keys off the advertising data model, and their data model about you is so well trained that it can accurately predict what you're thinking and when. And you trained it unknowingly with every interaction with technology that you do. And it goes on to say, ever wonder how you can sit down at a brand new computer, one you've never touched before, one that you haven't logged into, you haven't logged into any of your sites or email before, and in a few minutes you start seeing the same old advertising you always do? That's because advertisers are tracking upwards to 150 data points on any given computer. They only need 15 to differentiate you from anyone else. Incognito mode doesn't matter. You will be terrified to know how much they can correctly deduce about you from astonishingly little information. Never mind if they do a data scrape for you. They can determine age, race, gender, habits, health, political alignment, etc. I'm not exaggerating. This isn't fake. This stuff really happens. You can imagine how paranoid my wife is. So that rings true with you there, Joe? Joe walked away.
I was on mute, but yes, it does. It's absolutely true. In fact, I've mentioned this on the show before. Let me get back on my headphones and mic and stuff. I've mentioned that my work computer shows me ads for things I have interests in say Instagram.
Yes.
So like my work computer, if I get ads, it'll be ads that are relevant to stuff I was looking at on my computer. And I know I've mentioned this, despite me not logging in to my Gmail on my machine and things of that nature.
Yeah. Man.
These computers, I tell you, they just get crazier and crazier.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what we know and they're talking about online, I'm sure it's far more stringent.
So with that, if that's true, and they can pretty much deduce who you are from 15 points of data, like where you go to, like what you check, like a VPN is to a certain degree kind of pointless for hiding your identity in like incognito mode, kind of pointless. So they know,
of course,
who everyone is, regardless of how much you obfuscate yourself.
Of course,
because of the way you are online, your attitude, where you go, they got you locked down. They know all this stuff. They know who everyone is.
If they want to plant bugs in your house, they know your work schedule.
Yes.
They know all your patterns, your routines. Like, this is not just digital. This is your life. And it is true. That was one of the things we used to do back in 2018 when I was working with paid media, is that we were trying, what you always try to do is pinpoint location and show them ads relevant. Like, you wouldn't show a White Castle ad down in the South because they don't have White Castle.
Yeah,
it's
it makes sense. Yeah.
based.
Show them Jack in the Box or something like that.
And so, and Waze was always, and this is more of an obvious one, but when you're on Waze, instead of sending people a billboard, I don't know if people even use Waze anymore, probably.
No, I don't think so.
But yeah, they would show you, okay, so they know you're interested in pizzas and you eat a lot of pizza or whatever. They'll show you where all the pizzas are when you stop at a red light. They'll be like, click here for, 10% off.
How fresh is the walnut sauce? I want to put it on my pizza.
Yeah, they probably suggest you toppings for your pizza.
Yeah, they'll send you right to Comet Ping Pong when you're in DC.
Yeah, there you go.
Tell you which basements have the best pizza.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, these are the best hot dogs. They're so succulent.
Well, I like to bring up this story every now and again, and this is perfect for what we're talking about here, for like predictive analytics about people's behaviors and what they can do, what they will do, what they may do. And this headline is, Big Data Helps CIA Predict Social Unrest 5 days before it begins. This was written back, I believe, in October of 2016. So they announced it back in 2016. They probably had it for a long time. So earlier this year, in 2016, the CIA helm started up a new arm of the agency dubbed the Directorate of Digital Innovation, which aims to embrace the newest tech into the agency's data gathering. The DDI will also assist the United States in bolstering cyber defense. The Deputy Director of Digital Innovation, Andrew Hallman, explains that the new wing of the agency is helping the CIA expand its anticipatory intelligence. Hallman notes that the improvements are good enough that they can predict overseas societal instability and social unrest by 3 to 5 days before the event occurs. So they know. I suspect it's way better now than it was back in 2016. They have more data. More projections, better guess. So they know what is probably most likely going to happen. They have a really good guess at that kind of stuff. And
I love that you're talking about this stuff. I'm going to drop a couple links in the Carrot Shop, so if you want to keep on it.
Yeah, I'm going to keep on it. So this is back in 2016. They're probably using it overseas and here, or they have a parallel system that is being used by the FBI. I would say. I would go that far. And then there is this other little more recent article. So remember, that one about CIA was from 2016. This one right here is a little bit newer. And this is titled, U.S. Intelligence Wants to Unmask Anonymous Writers Using AI. So up to 80% of certain anonymous underground forum users can be identified using linguistics, researchers say. The technique compares user posts to track them across forums and could even unveil authors of thesis papers or blogs who have taken to underground networks. Quote, if our data set contains 100 users, we can at least identify 80 of them, researchers say. Function words are very often specific to the writer. Even if you are writing a thesis, you'll probably use the same function words in chat messages. Even if your text is not clean, your writing style can give you away. So the U.S. intelligence community has launched a program to develop artificial intelligence that can determine authorship of anonymous writing while disguising an author's identity by subtly altering their words. So
and then aren't there those reports where they can identify people not from just their face and their eyes, but from their gait, the way they walk?
Yeah.
And then there's, I don't know if this is out there, but I'm just guessing that the mask thing and being able to, like, iPhone asks, do you want to do face recognition with your face mask on, you slave? And imagine that being actually just a test run or training for these algorithms to go, okay, well, when these motherfuckers start rioting and they come out in their masks, we know exactly who to go after. The same way FBI went after the January 6th terrorists who almost tore down the government.
Yeah, it seems like at this point, they have their technological terror grid in place. They know what people are going to buy. They know what people are pretty much going to do.
They can predict unrest.
They can predict unrest. They probably can predict who they're going to vote for. They have everything locked down. They know what people are going to do. They know their overall general emotion about certain things. And so it may be that much easier if you present stories in a particular way to lead them down a path. Like
go to click the article that I put in there. It's 2014.
2014?
First one, not the second one. I think.
You said U.S. Secretary Cuban?
No!
Not that one?
The first one.
I don't know how to count sometimes.
Well, you're getting better with the reading.
Yeah, I'm getting better. Yeah. So this one, the link you put in there, the military is already using Facebook to track your mood. Okay.
So there you go. And that's 2014.
Okay, that's 2014. They've been doing it probably before then, like on MySpace and Friendster. That's where their testing ground was, and they've been perfecting it. Critics have targeted a recent study on how emotions spread on popular social network sites. Facebook complaining that some 600,000 Facebook users did not know that they were taking part in an experiment. Well, there's a lot of experiments that are going on nowadays that people don't know that they're aware of and that they're a part of it.
Well, and then let's remember DARPA canceled LifeLog on the same day Facebook launched. So I have that article too if you want to. Well, it's a Quora thing.
Oh, really? Is it Quora or Quora?
Quora.
Okay.
I would imagine.
All right.
Balls.
Maybe it's balls.
Yeah.
It's like one of those strange pronunciation, like a duvet.
Yeah.
It's a dovet or quinoa.
Well, here's another headline that you had in there, which is U.S. secretly creates Cuban Twitter to stir up unrest and undermine government. Wow. Okay. They're doing it over there.
That's some good news on that front.
Sure.
That's an old one too.
They would never do that over here.
Nope. This is why everybody lost their shit in the mainstream media with Elon buying Twitter.
Yes. And that's, I didn't want to mention that, but there's a direct parallel to that. And I don't even know if Elon is going to do something good with it. By all guesses, if you just go by what he says, he wants to create a universal app, one that you can chat with, one that you can make payments with, one that mirrors what China has. They have I think it's the WeChat app. He wants to do what China's doing, but over here. So that's not good. And talk about like anonymity and mining people's text, unmasking who they are. Like privacy is gone at this point. It's just gone. It's been gone for a long time. Let's see that last text link you had there, and that was, why did DARPA cancel LifeLog on the same day Facebook was launched? Why was that?
I mean, it's a Quora thing. There's better articles, but it is a fact. I mean, people can know about it, and that's why it's almost like, it's like Tesla. It's like Bill Gates. Is Mark Zuckerberg just the face of an intelligence an intelligence program?
It is. And I think this is a pretty good post here. Like he lays out some facts, and I guess he's hoping people will reply. And this is only 3 years old. So he lays out some facts right here. Obviously, DARPA canceled the LifeLog project on the same day Mark Zuckerberg launched Facebook on February 4th, 2004. Many of the objectives of the DARPA program have been accomplished by social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat. Whether you want to admit it or not, social media subtly and constantly collects information about you, not just through login and registration credentials. But yeah, we know everything. They got everything at this point. And what are the replies here? Usually there's some sort of like debate that goes on in these threads, and I'm not seeing too much here. I got to log in to see this shit. I'm not logging in. I don't trust these computers. They're getting crazier and crazier. So as for the question, are smartphones reading your thoughts? I would have to say mostly no. It's much more terrifying that you are so predictable. We are all so predictable that they don't have to read our thoughts. They know them before they occur. All right. That's I wonder if the government knows I'm going to play this drop.
Me and my boyfriend love to get pregnant.
They probably do. They probably know that one. All right. Well, let's see if I have any other related items I needed to get to. I think I hit just one more while we're here. This kind of goes along the same lines that the intelligence agencies want to use AI to figure out what anonymous writers are writing what to unmask them. Well, here's another one right here. And this is from September 2022. U.S. military bought mass monitoring tool that includes internet browsing and email data. Multiple branches of the U.S. military have bought access to a powerful internet monitoring tool that claims to cover over 90% of the world's internet traffic, and which is in some cases provides access to people's email data, browsing history, and other information such as their sensitive internet cookies, according to the contracting data.
Sensitive cookies.
My sensitive internet cookies.
Sensitive cookies would be a good name for an album from like a punk band.
It might be like the last album that Weezer ever writes.
Sensitive cookies.
Sensitive cookies.
Actually, that'd be a good name for a Weezer secret track at the end of an album.
I listen to it. Why not? I like Weezer. It goes on to say, additionally,
Weezer the Juice.
Weezer, no, not Weezer the Juice, not Wheeze and the Juice. Maybe that's where they got their name. Additionally, Senator Ron Wyden says that a whistleblower has contacted his office concerning the alleged warrantless use and purchase of this data by the NCIS, a civilian law enforcement agency that's part of the Navy. After filing a complaint through the official reporting process with the Department of Defense, according to a copy of the letter shared with Wyden's office, who Motherboard is reporting on this. The material reveals the sale and use of the previously little-known monitoring capability. I want to know what this tool is and who created it and where this tool is getting all their data from. It sounds like it's a data aggregation tool that's being sold to the military so the military can have access to everything. But where is this tool getting the information from? The materials reveals the sale and use of a previously little-known monitoring capability that is powered by data purchases from the private sector. There you go. The tool called Augury is developed by a cybersecurity firm, Team Cymru, or CYMRU, and bundles a massive amounts of data together to make it available to the government and corporate customers as a paid service. So it sounds like this cybersecurity company, I wouldn't even call them that. I call them like a log aggregation tool. They're purchasing upfront all the data they can get from third-party apps, from Google, for anybody who will sell it to them. They're buying all this data. They're storing it in an Amazon S3 bucket. They're hooking that S3 bucket to like Splunk or some kind of like log searching tool. They got some cool filters on it. They make some correlations between users, and boom, there you go. You got yourself a military contract worth several millions of dollars for like years and years and years, and then your life is set right there. You're set. And it's not unlike the way the movie that came out, 2000 Mules, got their data to track who was delivering physical ballots to drop-off places. They did the same thing in that movie. They just bought data, geolocation data from people's cell phones.
It was cell phone data.
It was cell phone data. They figured out there were a couple people going to multiple different ballot drop-off places. Now, I mean, they could have went in further with the investigation. I suspected that they did. They probably discovered that these mules were dropping off ballots for both the Democratic and Republican Party. I think that ballot harvesting is illegal in some states. I don't know, but they did the same thing. You can figure out a lot of stuff from this stuff.
It's not illegal in California to go collect ballots from other people and break that chain of custody. But hey,
I love it. You know, it's interesting that all this like denying access to voting, it's so ridiculous with I know this is a tech segment, but it's just like you can't verify ID and location.
Nope.
Like, isn't that how elections work? Like you can't vote because they know it's all federal. That
was it New York who just passed that they're now allowing people who are non-citizens to vote? So
I think so. Yeah. I don't know if that's going to go through because it's probably highly illegal, but the idea that like, if I live in Atlanta in like Fulton County and I try to go vote for a sheriff in another county, like this doesn't make any sense, but people don't care about that. They just care about whatever the fucking hood ornament is on the car that's being driven off the cliff right now.
No! Your car is a hood ornament?
Yeah, I don't got one.
That's a euphemism. Come on.
La-di-da, Mr.
Do they
Fancy
even
Car.
make hood ornaments anymore?
Big
I don't
old-
know. I'm not Rich Boy Joe buying hood ornaments on Amazon. Oh,
Joe goes around
geez.
and he adds hood ornaments to cars at night when you're not looking.
You know what? I actually, it is funny because I never really thought about it. They do slap a big logo on that grill in the front, but the hood ornament has gone by the wayside.
It's
They should
gone
bring
by the
those
wayside.
back.
Honestly, that's
Need to
the
bring
move.
that back.
Yeah, that's our side business. We're
In
gonna bring.
Texas, their hood ornaments are like steer horns,
Yeah,
and they just mount them to the grill.
Oh,
That
like
makes
Boss Hog.
They're around, dude. They have them here.
well, that's all I got. I just wanted to let everyone know that it's crazy
It's
out
hopeless.
there. It's
hopeless
crazy
and
in
you're
here.
being tracked.
Yeah, I know Booberry. He was in Discord today. He's one of the hosts of Behind the Schemes podcast. You can check him out. And he was talking about doing some digital stuff and having like a private, secure like chat on like some web service. And I wasn't sure if his goal was like anonymity or just to get off of like Discord and stuff like that, which I can understand because, you know, we're all kind of very mindful of what we can and can't say on Discord. And it just makes for a better community. We are a little heavy-handed with the admin side of Discord, but you have to. We're on their platform, and they'll ban us in a heartbeat. But yeah, I don't know if he was talking about this, like preserving some sort of privacy, or was it just to not have to worry about Discord? But with this tech segment, it doesn't matter. There's no privacy. They know you. They got it. They got you locked down.
Give us an email at ourbigdumbmouth@gmail.com. Check out obdmpod.com for all the social media and donation links.